I found out my wife was a sugar baby for her CEO, and I decided to expose her in front of everyone. This is what happened next. I, 34 am, always thought I had a solid marriage. I mean, who doesn't when they've been together since high school, married for 5 years, and everything seemed just fine? Or at least that's what I believed. We lived in a cozy house, had a dog, and lived like any typical couple in their 30s, trying to balance work and home life. Sure, my wife had a demanding job, and her hours were long, but I always told myself it was just part of her career. She was driven, ambitious, and I respected that. But everything I thought I knew about her, about us, shattered one morning when I decided to surprise her at work. I had the day off, and I was feeling spontaneous. I wanted to bring her lunch and maybe catch up with her for a bit since we've both been busy lately. We had this routine where we didn't often get to see each other during the week, so I thought it would be a nice gesture. I grabbed some sandwiches from her favorite place and headed to her office. The building she worked in was one of those sleek, glass and steel skyscrapers that made you feel small just by looking at them. I wasn't used to being there often. She was the one in the high-rise world while I worked from home, but I wasn't nervous. This was a normal lunch break, nothing out of the ordinary. I walked in, flashed a smile at the receptionist, and she buzzed me through. As I made my way up to her floor, I could already feel a knot forming in my stomach. I had no idea why, but something felt off. It was like the universe had been trying to tell me something, but I couldn't hear it. Yet, I got off the elevator, and there she was, standing in the hallway. But not alone. I froze. It wasn't the fact that she was talking to someone that made my heart race. It was the man she was talking to. Older, probably in his late 40s or early 50s. His hair was peppered with gray, and he wore an expensive suit that screamed authority. I didn't recognize him, but then again, I never went to her office. I watched as they exchanged what seemed to be a light-hearted conversation, but it wasn't just the casual exchange that threw me off. There was a closeness in their body language that made my stomach churn. He wasn't just any coworker. The way she laughed at something he said, the way he leaned in a little too close, it didn't sit right. My mind raced. Maybe I was reading too much into it. Maybe I was overreacting. I tried to shake it off, but then she touched his arm. A soft touch, but a touch nonetheless. I swallowed hard and stepped back behind a column, hoping they wouldn't see me. I didn't know what I was trying to do. Avoid confrontation? Stay calm? I had no idea, but I knew I wasn't ready to confront her yet. I had to know more. I waited for a minute, just enough time to watch them finish their conversation. They said their goodbyes, and he stepped onto the elevator, disappearing behind the sliding doors. She turned to walk back toward her office, and I didn't hesitate. I approached her, trying to keep my voice steady. "Hey, babe, I brought you lunch," I said, smiling as if nothing had happened. She looked up, clearly surprised. "Oh, hey, what are you doing here?" I forced a smile. "I thought I'd bring you something to eat. You've been working so much lately. I figured you could use a break." Her eyes flitted to the elevator doors, almost too quickly. "Oh, that's sweet. But I already had lunch with, some coworkers. I'm good." I nodded, though I wasn't really listening. "Who was that guy you were with just now?" Her face immediately tightened. "What? Oh, that was just a colleague." There was something in the way she said it. It didn't add up. A colleague? She didn't look at him like he was just a colleague. I could tell something was off, but I wasn't going to push it here. Not yet. I gave her a quick peck on the cheek and handed her the bag with the sandwiches. "I'll let you get back to work. See you tonight." "Yeah, of course," she said, a little too quickly. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. As I turned to leave, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. It wasn't just the way she reacted, it was the whole situation. The man, the tension, everything about it felt off. I knew my wife. She wasn't the type to act like this. I should have left it alone. But I didn't. That night, as we sat down to dinner, I decided to press her again. I wasn't accusing her. I just wanted an explanation. "I saw you with him today," I said, setting down my fork. Her eyes narrowed slightly. "Who?" "The guy you were talking to in the hallway. The one who left just as I walked in." She sighed, and I could see the guilt in her eyes. She didn't meet my gaze immediately, instead stirring her food absent-mindedly. "Look, I didn't want you to find out like this." "Find out what?" I asked, trying to keep my tone level, though I could feel the anger starting to rise. "It's not what you think. He's my boss, the CEO of the company." I blinked. "Your boss?" "Yes, but it's not like you think," she said quickly. "He's been helping me with some financial stuff. For a while now." I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. My pulse raced. "Financial stuff? What are you talking about?" Her eyes flickered nervously. She set her fork down and folded her hands in her lap. "He's been supporting me, helping me with some things." "Supporting you? How?" I asked, barely able to control my voice. "How exactly is he helping you?" Her face reddened slightly. She looked away, avoiding my gaze. "He's been giving me money. For personal expenses. Trips. Shopping. You know, things I wouldn't normally be able to afford. I stared at her in disbelief. Wait, what? Are you telling me he's been paying for your lifestyle? For all this stuff you've been buying? She nodded slowly. Yes. The silence between us was suffocating. My mind raced, and I could barely make sense of what she was saying. She had been accepting money from her CEO, money that wasn't just a bonus or a gift. This was something else, something more intimate. You've been his sugar baby, I said, the words tasting bitter in my mouth. Her face paled. It's not like that, she said, her voice shaking. It's complicated. I didn't want to hurt you. The walls of the room seemed to close in around me, the weight of her confession crushing me. I wanted to scream, to rage against the unfairness of it all. But instead, I was numb. This wasn't just betrayal. This was something worse. A lie, hidden in plain sight. I didn't ask for any of this, she continued. It was just an arrangement. I never thought it would go this far. I stood up abruptly, pacing. An arrangement? I couldn't believe it. So you've been selling yourself for money? That's what you're telling me. No, it's not like that, she pleaded. He helped me with things. And I didn't know how to stop. I felt like I was suffocating. I didn't know what to say anymore. The trust was gone. Everything I thought I knew about her was a lie. I walked out of the house, needing space, needing air. I couldn't stay there. I couldn't breathe in that room. Over the next few days, I couldn't shake the image of her with that man. The way she had touched him, laughed with him. I knew I had to do something, confront him, confront her. But I didn't know what. Finally, I made my decision. I walked into her office building the next day. The elevator ride felt endless. When I reached the top floor, I didn't hesitate. I found his office and barged in, without knocking. He was sitting behind his desk, looking at papers, but he stopped as soon as he saw me. His eyes narrowed. Who the hell are you? He asked, voice cold. I'm her husband, I said, not holding back. And I know what you've been doing. His expression didn't change. I think you should leave. I didn't move. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows who you really are. He didn't answer. Instead, he picked up the phone, as if to signal for security, but I wasn't done. Everyone should know what kind of person you are. I continued, my voice louder now. Using my wife for whatever you want. Paying her for your own satisfaction. I turned and walked out, leaving him behind to deal with the mess I had just created. I had exposed him. I had exposed her. But I didn't care anymore. At home, she packed her things. I didn't stop her. I didn't try to talk it out. She had already made her choices. I was done. The door closed behind her, and I didn't look back.